Here's a stress relief tip that I give my clients a lot that has kind of surprising results. And I call it unstructured time. It's one thing to feel kind of overwhelmed and stressed out every few days, a couple times a week, once a week. It's another way to feel that way all the time. And when we find ourselves in that level of stress, then burnout is right around the corner. And when you're moving towards burnout, you're moving towards compromised health, negative emotional spirals, triggered relationships with other people, a lack of sleep, which contributes to more compromised health, etc. So you really don't want to let this get out of control. So here's a little tip that I picked up to sort of help you reset your sense of overwhelm back to a place of not feeling overwhelmed. And this works particularly well if you can do it on a fairly regular basis, once every few days, once a week, something like that. Find yourself a way, give yourself the gift of a period of unstructured time for at least an hour, if not 2 or 3. And I recognize it's particularly hard for caretakers. And this is something that if you know a caretaker who really needs some breaks, you can give them the break. Send them this video and then tell them that you will take care of their caretaking responsibilities for a little while so they can have some unstructured time. So here's how to get stress relief from unstructured time. Choose a block of time where you will have no have-tos, no must-dos, no goals for that period of time whatsoever. And your brain might start saying, oh, but I have all these things to do. Okay, make yourself a list of all those things that you should be doing. And then make yourself a promise that at the end of your unstructured time, you'll look at the list. But until then, you're not going to look at the list. Then set your alarm. So if you're going to give yourself 2 hours, set your alarm so that it goes off at the end of 2 hours. And there's only 2 rules for what to do in your unstructured time. Ask yourself, what do I feel like doing? And then do it. And the other rule is don't do anything on screen. Don't spend time on your phone, on a television, on a computer. If you want to listen to an audiobook, that's fine. But this is not about screen time. This is about you being in touch with yourself, your body, your mind, your heart, your spirit, and listening to what do I want to do that would make me feel good and happy. And believe it or not, the best ones are the ones that feel very strange. Things you really weren't thinking of before. Like, I feel like cleaning the bathroom, or I feel like walking that new trail in my neighborhood, or trying that new bike, or organizing my drawers, or going to the gym, or taking a nap, or sitting on the couch and staring at the wall, starting a project, doing laundry. If you really feel like doing it, like that's going to make you feel good at the end, and you should think about that. Well, if I do this, how will I feel? I'll feel good. It's fine. That's okay. But you have to make sure you feel like doing it. And here's the other thing. If you start one thing and then you decide you don't feel like doing it anymore, go ahead and stop. Give yourself permission to just stop and do something else. Just keep asking yourself, what do I want to do? What would make me feel good if I did it right now? And then give yourself permission to do it. And you're being successful, not if you accomplish things, but if you feel good for that entire 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever period of time you give yourself. At the end of it, regardless of what you did or didn't do, if you feel good, then you succeeded. And this works because it gives you practice at sort of putting aside all the things that other people tell you you have to do or burdens that you put on yourself. And it gives you practice getting in touch with like, what do you want to do? What do you desire? What would make you feel good? And this is a skill that we all have, but many of us have lost in the endless list of to-dos. And as you get better at it, as you get better at like figuring out what do I want to do, you can actually bring that skill into your regular life. Okay, I do have to go through my emails. I do have to prepare for the meeting. How can I do it in a way that makes me feel good? Maybe there's a way I could do it that makes me feel good. And if you're going to figure out what that is, you have to be in touch with what makes you feel good. The other thing that's interesting about this unstructured time exercise is you may be doing something like doing the laundry or vacuuming or going for a walk or just laying down and resting. And you might find your brain kind of chewing on things and thinking about things that it wants to process, that it doesn't usually have time to process. And that's why you really don't want to distract it with a lot of other things, particularly screens. And even people. Sometimes it's okay to use unstructured time with people, but I don't recommend it until you're very good at it because people will distract you. You'll start thinking more about how you're appearing to them than what's going on inside you. But your brain sometimes just wants this kind of time that doesn't have demands on it to process, to think about things and imagine things. You might find yourself feeling very creative, wanting to do a hobby during this time, which is awesome because your brain wants to go experiment and play. And that's what this time is for. You may find yourself amazingly productive sometimes, and that's okay. And other times you won't be productive, and that's okay too. Use unstructured time to get in touch with your intuition, get in touch with your body, get in touch with your wants and your desires and what makes you feel good. And relax. I promise. All the rest of your have tos will still be there when that alarm goes off and your unstructured time is over. But you will be in a very different place. So try it out and let me know how it works.